Welcome to Big Sky 35, 12623. This is when I usually do Nerdy Thursday. Don't feel like doing it this week. I just want to do a rant video. I haven't done a rant video in so long. I'd hate the negativity, but I got to get something off my chest. I slept on it last night. I watched it yesterday before I left work. Little last minute time killer, where you want to get from last minute's done before you can bounce. And I saw Legends Never Die have a video up, just a short one talking about he's getting to videos, it's getting to the end. If you haven't remarked on your video, hasn't seen it yet. But then he talked about, yes, I've seen the video about Sports Card Dad. And, he's more than welcome to make a video and I'll take it by open arms. And I thought that was gracious of him. And then so I watched the video. Well, he's a lot more gracious than I am because I took it kind of personally. He said in that a lot of people get hit in the feels, and he did one of his little insert funny parts, to build up time in a 7-minute, or this one wasn't even 4-minute video. So it does, and it doesn't hit me in the feels for the reason you're thinking. So you're thinking, oh, I'm upset because it's the Hall of Fame, this glorious thing. No, I didn't even vote for it last year. There's reasons, still have reasons. I talked to some of my friends about it, but I didn't air those reasons to get clicks or sit there and make up, oh, this is so devastating to me. I just didn't last year. I just took a step back for my reasons. We make the video. I'm going to make one Saturday talking about my criteria, what I look for in channels. And you could have done the same thing and got the same information out. You didn't have to vote for 10. You could have said, I'm voting for none because this is my criteria and none of them fit my criteria. But no. You rather make a video poo-pooing on the community that the section that you feel like you're outside of for some reason, which I don't know why. I think we live in the same area. I live in Winston-Salem. So I don't know if you watch this because I'm so small of a channel. I'm only got 530 some subscribers. So my content must suck and I don't know what I'm talking about. But that's the feeling I got from what you said about the Hall of Fame, where it needs to be kabillion subscribers, which I don't even know who has those, and 1 million views, and clicks and all this stuff. And I think us as channels, we are more than that because we're not mainstream YouTube. We're not. We're a very small section. And inside that section, we basically watch each other's stuff. There's a whole world of collectors out there that doesn't even know we're on here. Believe me, I didn't find this until about 10, 12 years ago. And then I started doing it as somebody said, I bet you won't do it. Well, I'm the type of guy, and I was complaining about a couple of the guys I was watching at the time that they didn't have a clue what they were talking about. So I got bet. It was basically a gentleman's bet, and I did it, and I love it, and haven't turned back. I learned a lot of stuff from a lot of people, made friends in a community that I love talking about and I'd never had before. Not since I was a little kid have I had anybody to talk to about sports cards. I was on an island by myself. So people like you come along during a pandemic, and I'm not going to call you carpetbaggers because I don't know you well enough, but it seems like I use that term a lot. You haven't left yet, but a lot of these people come in during the pandemic, saw, and even maybe changed their name to their to their actual YouTube channel from investment type of investments or PSA collectors or whatever to better fit and put join buttons and everything else to get what information I don't know. So to have this, you're saying that those are the only ones that can do the scholarship, which I can't stand that term. We're talking about cards. We're talking about these pictures. I have Ric Flair wooing on my wall. What are we scholarshiping about? These are not stocks and bonds. You could treat it like that. You could treat it as a high painting. But I can tell you what, most paintings don't drop in price because somebody overpaid for that painting to start with. Maybe they do. I'm not in the painting world. But I can tell you this, when I see a card get bought, okay, sports card dad, behind you, you have a Doncic and a Michael Jordan rookie card. I think it's a Doncic. I'm not very familiar, but so that Michael Jordan card is expensive, and at least I understand why it's so godly priced the way it is. The man has done everything in the NBA, and maybe argument, non-argument, however you look at it, is the greatest basketball player ever. And Doncic, rookie, MIM, RPA, whatever you want to call it, sold for who knows what, 45,000, whatever, and ain't done a thing. Jason Dominguez, first card, selling for $6,000, not doing a thing. I love Brett Beatty now. Even when he was when he got drafted, I read so much on him. I went to get his first auto, and it was like $3,000. He hasn't done anything. What are we doing? That's beyond prospecting. That's stupidity. I'm calling it out. And then 3 years later, when that card has dropped immensely because he hasn't done anything. Doncic's great. I ain't taking nothing away from him. He might, be league MVP from what I understand this year or whatever. If he keeps going the way he's going. But he ain't going to win a championship. What, he going to be one and done in the playoffs? That's what matters. MVPs, unless he wins the next several, which he's got to do. And, to make any of that make sense. And how much of a ceiling do you have on that card? I watched that. I'm not a flipper, but I have an understanding on how money works. So if I buy a card for this crazy amount, what's the ceiling? What's the return on that card? If I buy a card for $45,000, do you think that card's going to double? Really? Then you ain't been in the card world. You don't know how the card world works. You don't know how it ebb and flows. You don't have any understanding that overnight, for no reason whatsoever, nobody wants that card. And here it is 3 years later, and there's more rookies, more shiny stuff out there. So that card has taken a big hit. And and that's how the market is now. It's on to the next shiny big thing. It's not about who does what. So you can sit there and make fun of the vintage. I know the vintage guys say this is the way it should be. Maybe I'm yelling into the wind too about, pricing, but you could buy whatever you want. But when that card doesn't pan out, believe me, it's not an addiction, it's stupidity. When you overpay and you think that's what that card is, I can't help you, brother, at that point. I think I'm going to start calling out some stuff here. And then now you're going to sit there and say the Hall of Fame is for X, Y, and Z. When I do think it should be more longevity, more standards. I watched Dave Midlife Crisis selection, and I am so glad I know him, Ed, Mike, and Brad, because that is my bridge to the guys I didn't get to see. That's my bridge to the guys that got us to who we are now. This whole thing just didn't start. This whole thing started the first day YouTube clicked on. I'm sure somebody that first day opened a pack on there and recorded it and put it on, posted it. This thing's been here for the same as long as YouTube has, or how long videos have been put on here one way or another. And it's a time that you guys understand that and start respecting a little bit of that. And those guys might not have 16,000 clicks. And if you want to talk about comparing it to the Hall of Fame, I think a lot of you guys have inflated numbers, and those numbers have been manipulated one way or another. So that's the same way as a steroid use. Okay? So that we can go back and forth on this all the time, all day. But this Hall of Fame is for fun. It doesn't mean anything. Mike Moynihan started it. You didn't even bring that up. You talk like you have no understanding of that. And it got passed on to Legends Never Die because Mike got tired of this type of crap. And I don't blame him. And let me tell you, Legends Never Die loves doing it because he loves the Hall of Fame stuff. He collects Hall of Fame and modern stuff. You know why I know that? Because I took the time to watch his videos and get to know him on his videos. I'm trying to get him on my channel so I can get to know him better. I talked to him at the National last year. We don't live that far from each other. We need to hang out and go to a card show together. But Baseball Dad, I would love to talk to you one-on-one and really get past a 4-minute video on your thoughts, not just on Hall of Fame, but on the hobby, on the whole hobby. I watch your videos and I know nothing of you, the person. I don't know if this was much of a rant, and I don't know if I just talked in circles. This is my second time trying this because, I love everybody that does videos. I love everybody that doesn't do videos. I love everybody. And I know love. I do. It's the human race, man. We need to love each other. Now, it's different levels. But I love your sports card, Dad, but I want to like you. And there's two different things there, ain't it? And I want to have a better understanding of where you're coming from. And I don't want to hear the clickbait algorithm. My picture that just looks like I took a poop for the first time in 2 days, surprised or whatever. The clickbait pictures. Believe me, I love making little pictures or finding funny pictures. But I also after that do an hour video, and I'm probably a little too much open, and I'm probably opening up a little too much on my personality. But that's what I'm here for, personally. So until next time, like, share, tell a friend, subscribe if you haven't. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm not like this. I love cards. I love my David Wrights down to my Pete Alonso's. I love Gary Carter's, my PC. My Sandy Koufax rookie and Jackie 53. I have, I love it. And I do all kinds of different things. So to be pigeonholed because I don't have the subscribers or the clicks, because I know how to get bots, because we have some mutual friends. So until next time, see ya.